So a friend of mine asked me to make her a wreath out of fabric, and she had picked out this African print, and I've never made a wreath out of fabric before, so I knew this would be a little challenging, but I do make wreaths, so I knew I could do it. So I had to kind of play with the material and manipulate it. So I started off with the pattern that I thought would work best. And she just wanted kind of like a poof wreath, so I'm kind of doing the bubble style method. And what I did was, because the fabric itself doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it, it's not real stiff. So I decided to put a mesh underneath it. And for me, I had this burlap mesh, and I decided to put that underneath the fabric because that'll give it a little bit of stiffness to make it stay puffed out. So I did already start it, and this is what I started with. Now I'm using zip ties to hold it together, but you take the end of it and you bunch it up and you put it in the middle two pieces and you zip tie that together. Now I did start the first part of the section and I'm doing 10 inches, so I have my mat right here. So you just kind of bunch it up. You want to kind of make sure that the material is underneath the mesh on both sides. You need to hold it right here. Pull the material down to 10 inches. And you just bunch that up and you zip tie that to the two middle pieces. Now, she wanted me to do this wreath for her before Christmas, and the mail took a while for her to be able to send the fabric my way. And I'd been meaning to do it the last couple weeks, but the mail was running so slow that when I had time, I didn't have the fabric. So I'm just getting to it now, and I'm kind of liking the way that it came out. So once you zip tie that, you just kind of puff it out. And you want to push those together. Now I already started 4 of them, so that's the 5th one. Now in each section, you're going to probably do about 6 of them. Now with the last bundle, I'm going to zip tie it to the little section again. So once again, you hold it, you measure it to 10 inches, make sure that the material is around the mesh. You just pull it tight. When you got 10 inches, you bunch it up, and then you zip tie that to the wreath frame. Now, since this is a middle section, I'm going to zip tie it crisscross. I'm going to put it in one side and loop it out the other, and that's the middle 2 pieces of the frame. Now I do have a zip gun, and if you don't, it's okay. You just pull it tight, cut that piece off, and then you take that piece of material and you bunch it out. And now I have a whole section completed. So you could just kind of fluff that out, and that's how it's starting to look. So I was a little skeptical when I started, but I know that as you go around the wreath, it's going to fill out. I wasn't sure what sizes to cut, so I kind of played around with it and manipulated it before I even started. I wanted to see what I was going to do with it. And I didn't know if I was going to do multiple loops or just a single one, but I think by the time it's done, a single one will be just fine. So once again, 10 inches, just bundle it up, puff it out, and you're going to attach it to the 2 middle frames. Put that zip tie through the 2 middle frames. And you're going to have to flip it over. It's a little easier to see what you have going on. And you want to push that close to the other piece. Now the back of it, you're just going to have a bunch of zip ties in bunches. And puff that out again. I might have enough for one more. It looks like this piece is almost a little short, but it's still 10 inches, so I'm going to stretch it out and bundle up that last piece. And because I cut smaller sections, I wasn't really sure. I could have cut the material in longer pieces, but I really don't want to waste material, and I had to get a feel for the pattern on it, how it was going to look. So what I did last time was I left this piece and I started up my next piece. I have this great big piece of material. She actually sent me 2 pieces of material because she wanted her wreath to be full. So I'm cutting that into pieces. And these are approximately 36 inches. And then I'm cutting them into 12-inch pieces. And that 12-inch piece I'm putting over the 10-inch mesh. See, and I kind of feel like I should have ironed this before I started because the edges are a little bit wrinkled. But once you get the wreath going, it really too much doesn't matter. But I still would like to line it up the best that I can. Just would have made it a little bit easier on that end to cut it and get it lined up perfectly. So I'm cutting 12-inch strips. And I like to use a rotary blade. Cuts material the best. My knife is a little bit sharp, so it doesn't cut that fantastic. But now I have this 12-inch strip, and it's about 36 inches long. So it makes about, well, I think it's longer than 36 inches because I've been getting 4 loops out of all of them. Now, I still have my roll of mesh. I'm just continuing on. Now here I have my 10-inch strip, and I got my new strip. So instead of doing it separately, I try to blend it together. So I put the 2 edges of the material together, and I overlap them a little with the mesh underneath, and I'm just kind of bunching it up. You want to make sure that you're getting all the pieces. Kind of tucking the fabric under the mesh. And you want to make sure that you have all the material together. And you want to make sure that you pull that zip tight so the pieces don't come out. Now the material in the lap is over mesh. I'm sorry, overlapped. I always say crazy stuff when I'm recording because I get tongue-tied. And I want to tuck that material in a little bit and push that over to make it tight. Now that we have them connected again, so you don't see it much in the back, since I started that one, I have 1, 2, so I need 4 more. So once again, you pinch it right there where you have the knot. Make sure your material is over your mesh. 10 inches. Bunch it up. I kind of want to spread that burlap mesh underneath to puff it out. And then you put your zip tie. And this tool gun is real handy because it cuts the piece for you as it tightens it. Push those over. Puff it out. Hold it right here. 10 inches. Puff it together. Zip tie it. Once you get in the groove, you know it goes by pretty quick. It's just a matter of feeling confident with it. Once you understand like the measurements and how to just pull it all together, you know, it works out pretty easily. But like I said, this is the first time that I've done one with material, so this is new for me too. Now that's number 4. Got 2 more to go. And as you can see, if you look in the back of it, you hardly even see the burlap. The only purpose of the burlap is to kind of stiffen it up. Alright. Here we go again. Bunch it up. Zip tie it. I'm probably going to go ahead and finish this off video so I don't keep you guys on here forever, but you're just going to keep on repeating the same pattern. And if you don't have the gun and you don't have zip ties, you can always use pipe cleaners. It works just the same. It's not any different. The zip ties just make it a little bit of a tighter hold, but it really doesn't make a difference. And once again, like I said, when you get to the end of the material and you bunch it up, you're just going to go ahead and start your other piece. So with me cutting it, like I think I'm around 40 inches because I've been getting about 4 of them to each piece of material, and they are 12 inches wide, so I'm getting 4 out of each bundle, and I need 6 for each section, so it's going to take me a little while to finish it off. I'm not even halfway done, but what do you guys think? I mean, I see once that it's done, it's going to be very full. It's very colorful. It's really coming together nicely. So let me go ahead and finish that up, and I will come back and show you guys what I came up with. Here's the back of it again, so you guys can check that out. You don't see a whole lot of anything. Here's the cut where I started. I just zip tied it together, the mesh with the material. So I don't think that this is bad for my first material wreath. I'm really liking the way it came out. I think that if I didn't do the mesh underneath, it wouldn't have came out quite so full. It would have been a little bit more frumpy and floppy. And I really like this because I think it's going to hold together nicely. So I'll come back and show you guys what I come up with when I'm done. Thanks for watching.